Welcome to Paddling Adventures Radio. I'm Sean Rowley, and with me is Derek Spesh.
Hello.
Derek.
Hello.
What's happening?
Well, I'm kind of excited that we're sort of getting closer to winter. It's January. We should already be there.
There was snow.
There was snow.
Followed by an absolute ton of rain.
I imagine they got snow up north.
Slush. There's snow up north. Yeah. Tons of slush. Yeah. I shoveled if you're not... I don't know if I'd really call it shoveling, because there's 80% of water.
Yeah.
80% water.
I just ignored mine. And when I left the house tonight, it was all gone.
No, see, ours is still around. So I know that, because I'm not the first one out tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy is.
Yeah.
Which means it's going to freeze. And she's going to go ass over tea kettle down the steps.
Oh.
But if it was me out first,
you're going to salt
it would have been fine. But, yeah, because she's going out first. If I lay down salt, it'll be too late at that point, because she'll already be laying at the bottom of the stairs. So, yeah, I just did that. But, yeah, man, I wish the snow would get here.
I know. Eventually.
Yeah. It's on its way, apparently. They say it's supposed to snow this weekend.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to get something soon. Like, I'm still planning. Still haven't figured out where we're going to go yet. But, like, the Family Day weekend winter camping trip, I'm trying to kind of narrow it down, and I was talking to Camper Christine today, and she suggested Killarney, and I hadn't thought about that. So now I got to reach out to Dwayne and Miriam and see what they have suggestions for up that way.
Well, they just closed the gate too, so you can't drive in now. You got to
so that's one key thing. I need the car to be safe off the road somewheres and type thing, right?
I think you can park there. You just can't drive to your campsite.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, I'm not. I don't want a campsite.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't know other than that.
I don't want a campsite. We're going backcountry. I'm snowshoeing somewhere, so it's. I want something off grid, off somewhere, out in the boonies, out in the bush.
Yeah, I talked to Dwayne.
Like not Mule Lake, not the airfield, not whatever. So
100 miles away.
Yeah. So right now, what I'm thinking is Pog Lake, do the rail trail, like we talked about. We had done this trip. I don't know if you were there. I know Mark was there and Mike was there. Marcus was there. We built an igloo that weekend.
No, it was me.
But we went down the rail trail and we camped down at the base of the bluff below Centennial Ridge's trail in the forest there on the edge of Whitefish Lake. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's sort of in my mind what I think we're going to do. But we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully the ice is thick enough.
Well, we're going to avoid all water travel. We're not going to do that. Because I don't trust the ice this year. Yeah. Like it's just we're not getting consistently cold weather. You need like what, -20, -30 consistently to get a decent layer, because any snowfall is going to insulate it. Mm-hmm. So without -30 degree weather, you're not going to get a layer of ice.
Good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Good plan.
So only land travel.
And everybody gets to poop in the bush.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, if you want to try Killarney.
Yeah, so
I'd be talking to a couple of the people up there, and just to see what the even Ted from Killarney Outfitters, they should be open in the winter, I think. I just know them for summer stuff.
Yeah,
they would have some information as well, I'm sure.
But Dwayne would know.
Well, Dwayne would know.
Yeah,
Dwayne knows everything. Just don't tell Dwayne we said that. So what else is up?
Oh, I got an email. My canoe is ready.
Already?
Yep.
Wow.
So Johnny's Boat Shop has finished my canoe, and I've already paid him, and I have to figure out when I can go get it. I don't want to make a special trip just to get the canoe.
You got to go all the way up to
Huntsville.
That's it?
Yeah, but I'm not going to make a trip just to get the canoe. It's not like I need it.
Yeah, but if you got another reason to go up there.
I don't have another reason. Maybe what we can do is some weekend when we do have more snow, we'll go up for a Saturday and go hiking.
Or in February over Family Day.
No, I'm going to have if I go up camping, I'm going to have a roof rack on, or one of those.
So will I.
No, but it'll be one of those boxes, roof boxes.
Not me. I could just have roof racks on, and you could say, "Hey, Johnny, my buddy Shawnee is coming to pick up my boat."
That would work.
And then I'll say, "I have no idea what you're talking about," as I drive away with your canoe, all new and fixed like.
Yeah. But he said it's safe on his rack. He's got like, I don't know, he can store like 20 or 30 canoes up there just outdoors, so it'll be fine until I get up there to get it.
Well, in February, if there's some open water, I could give it a whirl for you.
There you go.
It doesn't leak. Nope, still leaking. Must be that big iceberg.
Yeah, we'll see. I hopefully he got all the bad spots patched, because there's a lot of bad spots.
You're probably just getting a whole new canoe. You just don't know it.
It'll be amazing. He put a new yoke on it, new seats, new toe and nose cap on it, and he patched some holes, multiple holes. I assume he painted it. I assume he'd paint it. He's refinished it. So I assume he put another gel coat or something on it.
I would think.
He didn't say.
You didn't ask.
No, I didn't ask.
Nerd.
I did ask him to send me a picture.
It's red!
So we'll see.
Yeah, I left you a green canoe, but it's red.
Yep. My 25-year-old canoe is new again.
Ish.
New-ish.
Newish.
Yeah. Newish. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else going on?
Nope, nothing else. Just trying to plan that camping trip.
Oh, you'll get it planned.
Mm-hmm. If we can get snow on the ground, I want to set the tent up and test out all the gear in the backyard.
When was the last time you had it up?
I've never had it up.
Yeah, you want to be testing that before you take it.
Exactly.
Now would be the perfect time to try it.
With snow. I want snow on the ground.
Well, then you got to pack it. If you're packing it away with snow.
Yeah. It'll dry in the garage. I'll hang it in the garage to dry.
Make sure you do.
Leave it up for a couple days.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we got a message
from
Emma Marie.
Yes. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you for this information. I'm just listening to the new podcast, she says. You're drinking Sober Carpenter? Not going to work for us guys, she says.
This is not going to work for you guys.
My husband and I love craft beer, maybe too much, but we have been experimenting with the near beer alternatives. Her husband likes Corona as a generic hot summer day beer. And I got to agree.
I'm drinking right now.
Right? So he thinks the non-alcoholic version is one of the best non-alcoholic beers he's had, and he doesn't mind drinking it. We drank it. Mm-hmm. It's not bad.
Yep.
It's still got a bit of that near beer smell that
It's got the near beer smell, but it also has that weird farty smell that Corona has.
That weird farty smell.
Yeah, that weird. Oh, that's a weird smelling beer.
Oh, that's Corona. Yeah. Then there's more alcoholic. Then there's more craft beer near beers they've been trying. He picked up an IPA called Partake. He honestly doesn't like it, but I do. So we've already guzzled a Corona.
These are 0%, so I can drink these all night long.
10 calories, fatty.
If I get stopped on the way home, I'll say, I had 2 beer.
I had a 6-pack. This one is non-alcoholic pale. Partake Brewing. Non-alcoholic beer.
10 calories. So that's nice.
This brew balances the slight bitterness of West Coast hops with a touch of malty sweetness. Its crisp, citrusy notes.
Oh, that's nice.
Will see you through your campfire sing-along, puzzle solving, or roller disco. Which is awesome because I couldn't roller disco before. So
yeah, you can.
I'm going to drink a few of these and I should be able to roller disco.
So I just opened the Partake and it's really good.
Right? I actually like to partake out of all the fake beers I've had.
I agree.
I like this one the best
and
so far.
Corona for me is a close second.
Real beer is a close second for me.
This Partake actually tastes like a normal beer.
Right?
They all should, but so far
it's like
they've been
1 for 3.
Yeah, because what was it? The Sober Carpenter stuff that we tried last week. Like I said, it tasted like they removed the alcohol by filtering it through a sock,
a dirty sock.
Yeah,
after a long hiking trip.
Yeah, it wasn't
with
good.
Goats.
But hey, 10 calories. What did you say the calories were for the Corona?
60.
Huh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Emma Marie, thank you very much for the tip on Partake Brewing. Now, she also says there's a Toronto company that her husband likes, and so does his brothers. Harmon's Beers.
I haven't seen it anywhere. Maybe I'll try and order it online.
Maybe I'll take a... Yeah, you can keep going with that fake beer, buddy. You just order all you want online.
It's expensive.
Right?
I'm shocked at how expensive it is.
Well, that's what they said with the beers. Dry January is to save yourself some money. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Well, the key is switching to water instead of beer.
Well, you pretty much did. Thank you very much for the information.
Yeah.
We shall enjoy the rest of this one. You got it? Did you just bring the two of these partakes?
Yeah. I brought... you want to have a whole six-pack? I guess we can.
Oh, I guess you can. It's not like I'm driving.
There's no alcohol in it.
It's not like... Yeah. I got to thinking about something. This is totally left field now. Yeah. So, I went down a rabbit hole on Google and ended up bloodsuckers, leeches.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Why don't people use leeches anymore?
People do.
Well, that got me to thinking.
They are still used. And that's another thing. Like, I often wonder, like, everybody goes to so much trouble to get the leech off. And the last time I had a leech on me in Algonquin, I just let it fall off on its own. And it only took like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it just fell off and went away.
I ended up on a website.
Uh-oh.
Beginner's Guide to Leech Therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's got things like understanding leech therapy, also known as herodotherapy. Involves the application of medicinal leeches to the skin. The benefits of leech therapy, such as improved blood circulation, detoxification, pain relief, wound healing, anti-inflammatory effects. Like, some of these things happen on canoe trips.
Yeah, but...
No buts, shut up. Just go with me on this one.
Just some of the stuff they said, like, read that, what they do again. Like,
improved blood circulation, detoxification.
I don't know about that one.
Leech saliva contains enzymes with anti-inflammatory and detoxifying properties.
But that's a localized. It doesn't get into your system.
As the leeches feed, they draw out impurities from the bloodstream, promoting a natural
No, they just suck blood. They're not separated. They're not a filtration unit. They
How do you know?
Suck blood.
Don't knock the leeches, mister. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Techniques of leech therapy. Selecting medicinal leeches.
Medicinal leeches?
Yeah.
How do you
gotta
sort
get those
them?
From a reputable supplier. So I guess just grabbing a handful out of the swamp ain't working.
Pick the one with the red cross on its back.
Medicinal leeches are specifically bred for therapeutic use and are not the same as those found in natural bodies of water. Oh, what do you know? Preparation of the treatment area, application of the leeches. So, when I was a kid throwing leeches at my brothers and sisters, I'm just training to be a doctor, Mom.
Exactly.
Right? Monitoring the session. Look at him run. Post-treatment care. Cleanse the treated area again after the leeches have detached. Apply an antiseptic ointment and bandage if necessary. Some redness or mild swelling is normal and should subside within a day or two. Leech therapy might seem unconventional. Its historical use and reported benefits have piqued the interest of many in the wellness community. As a beginner, it's crucial to approach leech therapy with an open mind and under the guidance of a qualified healthcare professional. Safety third. So whoever wants to go on a canoe trip with me next summer...
We're going to go leeching.
We're going leeching, baby.
Leech therapy.
Hey, did you cut your finger on that knife? Get over here. I'm going to fix that up real quick. Derek, go get me some leeches, boy.
And I suppose they have anti-clotting agents too when their saliva, right?
I'm guessing. Because it just bleeds.
Yeah.
Anti-inflammatory.
Interesting.
Right? Oh, The substances released by leeches has anti-inflammatory properties, making leech therapy a complementary option for conditions involving inflammation, such as arthritis. So is arthritis stopping you from paddling and canoe tripping?
Well,
come on over. Come see Dr. Sean and his leeches. His amazing leeches of health.
Leeches on your knuckles, on your elbow.
Right?
Shoulder.
Well, you got a bad knee. I got something for you. Come here.
Pick that right up.
Bring them shorts over here, lift it a little bit, and we'll just throw some leeches on there for you. Yeah,
Interesting.
And they actually got a picture of somebody with a big leech hanging off one off each ankle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Keeping leeches employed since 1532. I ended up on this website, not where I intended to go, but is what it is.
Yeah.
I got a couple new pieces of gear. One of them for Christmas. The dehydrator. It's actually a step up from the one I had. I had that American Harvest one with just a push button. Mm-hmm. You turn it on, it makes lots of noise, really loud noise.
Yeah.
And then after so long, you turn it off and hopefully everything's done.
And the new one, you can set the temperature?
The new one is a Hamilton Beach. Got it for Christmas. Tried it out with strawberries last night, and all our house smelled like strawberries. You can set the time for up to 48 hours. I don't know what's going to take 48 hours to dry, but whatever it is, you can do it. You can set the temp.
What would you dehydrate for 48 hours?
A body?
Really thick jerky? Like inch thick meat? I don't know.
A steak?
Yeah.
Like you dehydrate a steak, take it out.
48 hours is a long time. I guess maybe if you're rotating trays out or in and out or something.
But that doesn't make sense though. Like if you're rotating trays and stuff, then you just put it on. Well, there's a pause.
Turn it back on again.
And then you turn it back on. Set it for some more time. It's rectangle shaped instead of round, which makes it loading easier.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can do rows as opposed to trying to do circles.
I have the same sort of a dehydrator as you.
Yeah.
And the old American Harvest, and it was a pain in the butt to do the round.
Yeah. 5 trays. It also has a herb tray and a fruit roll-up tray.
Okay, yeah.
It seemed to work out. It took about 9 hours.
Oh, it's a long time.
To do a whole 5 trays of strawberries.
Yeah.
But I mean, they say 1/4 inch thick.
Mm-hmm.
So
came out okay?
Yeah. So I mean, when you're going on trips, you can throw those in your oatmeal in the morning or something, or your cereal, and they rehydrate, and there you go, right? So I'm going to try a couple other fruits, and I'm going to try banana chips. In this one. My old one never did banana chips properly.
It went slimy in mine.
Well, they went
black and brown, and
you got to hit them with water lemon juice concoction first, so they stay the color. But mine were always chewy.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
So I'm going to try them in here. They say here's how you do them in this one. So I'll give because I love banana chips, but and I'm going to try my jerky recipe as well. That's what's next.
Excellent.
Yeah. The second item, I was at Bass Pro Shop, and you sent me a video of some dude that jumped naked into the Bass Pro Shop.
Into the fish tank.
Big fish tank. No, that was not me. Because they were actually feeding the fish when we were there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten away with it.
Hey, you!
Hey, what are you doing? It's cannibal! After much debating, I finally picked up a Jetboil Flash 2.0. Mm-hmm. I've been debating about one of these for 5-6 years.
Oh, yeah?
I just, him and haunted, and I got the Whisper Light, right?
Yeah.
So, I finally bought one. It says it boils water in 100 seconds.
Under ideal conditions.
Half liter or 2 cups of water in 100 seconds. You start to realize how little a half liter of water really is.
A cup of water is not much.
No. No. A cup of water doesn't even fill my coffee mug, my metal coffee mug.
Exactly.
Got to use in the back country.
Yeah.
So, however, if you did a full liter of water, we could get 2 cups of coffee and make 2 things of oatmeal.
Yeah.
Like the instant oatmeal. So for breakfast, that's perfect. With a liter of water, you could do a couple of your freeze-dried meals, like the
exactly, yes.
Mountain House or Alpen Air. Or
usually like, what, a cup and a half of water to dehydrate like some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be perfect for that. So if all you're using is water, and because it boils so fast.
You're not using much fuel.
You're not really using much fuel. It does have an insulated sleeve on it. And on this insulated sleeve has these little, they call it a flame design, and it's clear. Mm-hmm. But when the water boils, it turns orange.
Yes.
So you can just look at it and, oh, it's orange. Water's boiled. There is a cup attached, a plastic cup attached at the bottom that has a half and a 1 cup measure on it. So you know that's 1 cup of water.
So it acts as a protective on the bottom of your pot as well as it's a measuring cup.
Yeah. When you... And we found this out tonight when we tried, because we just tried it. Because I thought that it came with a thing of fuel, and it didn't. That's just me. It says wind reduces fuel efficiency by 25%.
Which is understandable.
And it was blowing pretty good out there. So, yeah, it added an extra 45 minutes, I guess, to the... To the
45 seconds.
Or sorry, yeah. If the wind's blowing, you can expect that cup of water to boil in about 50 minutes. Another 45 seconds onto it. So it was 2.5 minutes to boil the half liter of water. But like I said, that wind was coming in pretty good. One thing I saw...
My timer's still going. It's been an hour and 18 minutes since we boiled your water.
Is it still hot?
I'll stop the timer now.
One of the things I did see is that below freezing temps, the seal between the Jetboil and the fuel canister may not be 100%, which may result in fuel leaking. So you don't want to be taking this like on winter camping trips minus.
Yeah, you'll end up with a space shuttle condition there with leaking fuel through the O-ring.
Which may be kind of fun if you're not the one using it.
Yes.
So for things like that, I'll definitely keep my whisper light for colder temps and whatnot. The Jetboil plus the fuel canister, a lot lighter than my whisper light and the red fuel bottle. Mm-hmm. I also bought the pot holder attachment that lets me sit it on top of the stove part. Yeah. And I can use I don't have to use a Jetboil pot or something like that.
Exactly.
I can use a regular old frying pan or something like that.
So you fry up eggs, you can put a pan on it or pot on it, boil water, make soup, whatever.
Yeah. According to one website, because that's the one thing everybody says, well, how long does a canister last? Am I going to take 1 on a trip? Am I going to take 5 on a trip? But, if you have minimal usage, so you're only boiling 500 milliliters of water at breakfast, 500 at dinner.
Yeah.
So that's like 10 grams of gas.
Yep.
Is what they're saying. 5 for breakfast, 5 for lunch. Over a 4-day period, that's 40 grams. So you taking one of those small little ones is more than enough. Now, I don't know why they did this one in 4 days as opposed to 4.5 like the other two. A moderate, they're saying 500 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner is 15 grams of gas per day for 68 over 4.5 days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they're saying 4.5 because you're eating lunch on the way home. Not
it's funny how they
And for heavier use, you're using 750 milliliters of water. So you're 3/4 of a liter. You're boiling.
Yep.
Take 7.5 grams of gas. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner over 4.5 days, it's 101 total grams of gas you're using. So you have an MSR little tank there.
Yep.
And that's 110 grams, right?
Yeah, and the larger one is 227.
Okay. So the canisters for Jetboil, they have come in 100, 230, and 450 gram sizes.
Yeah.
But if you got the MSR one and it works on that, you got 110. You need one of those for a 4.5 day trip, a 5-day trip.
Yes.
If you're just using it for boiling water. But if you go for the 450 gram one, that'll more than do you for a 5-day trip.
Yeah.
Right. We have the tendency to do the just add water meals. And, so this is great for that. But if I'm going on a trip that's going to be a bit longer and have more involved meals, I'll probably still take the Whisper Light. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is, this is great for if you're going out on a day paddle.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw that in a bag, and you can stop anywhere, scoop some water out, filter the water, or just,
boil it
up and have yourself coffee or something like that out on the shore somewhere.
Yeah.
So those are my new latest pieces of gear. There's a new dehydrator and a Jetboil. Oh, the Jetboil. Mm-hmm. This little thingy, the stand.
Oh, yes.
The orange stand snaps onto the bottom of the can. No problems. But apparently you got to throw it out with the can. This was a pain in the arse to get off.
See, I've got a fire maple in it.
It pops right on there.
Yeah.
And then it pops right off.
Super easy.
But this has got two widths for the bigger cans and the smaller cans. But yeah, that did not want to come off that can.
I thought it was going to break.
Yeah. So other than that, that's the only bad thing I've found about that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I say, get some use out of it. And I like the fact that it's a lightweight thing I can just throw in the backpack and go out for a day paddle somewhere. So
nice.
Yeah, you want to get into some science now?
Oh yes.
Magma. If we've all been following the stuff that's happening up in Iceland, lots of magma, lots of lava, lots of volcano action. So the University of Oregon, researchers are adding new details to the geological history of the iconic Columbia River Gorge, which, big paddling destination. Wide river canyon that cuts through the volcanic peaks of the Cascades along the border between Oregon and Washington. In a recent study, researchers show that how magma and water have acted as opposing forces to shape this landscape, known for its rugged cliffs, stunning waterfalls. Prolonged upwelling of magma beneath the Earth's crust bent the river channel, pushed up cliffs and peaks as water carved a deep channel between them. Magma is still influencing the landscape today. Now, that's a lot of people, and this is what they get into a bit here. Everybody talks about mountains and gorge, all that, because of tectonic plates.
Yep.
Not the case. Mm-hmm. A lot of people look at volcanic systems and see volcanoes, the pointy cone-shaped things. But in fact, the volcanoes are just the very top of a vast network of magma transport, says Leif Karlstrom, a geologist in the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Oregon. We're seeing evidence of that deeper system working at the surface. Columbia begins high in the Canadian Rockies of British Columbia. All told, it gathers water from an area of more than 260,000 square miles and carries it to Pacific Ocean. It's been flowing in some form for tens of millions of years, though not always along the same path. The gorge in this amazing scenario, says Nate Klima, who led the study, the Columbia is the largest river on Earth that bisects a volcanic arc, which is a line of volcanoes associated with a subduction zone such as the Cascades. But it's also tricky to interpret geologically. Yeah, there's a lot of big words there. Klima has spent his life paddling rivers and experiencing firsthand how they shaped landscapes. In a new study, he and Karlstrom combed through many different kinds of geological and geophysical data gathered in the gorge and wove together a story about its origins. Roughly 3.5 million years ago, which realistically isn't that long ago in
it's
geological.
When we're talking Earth is like 4.6 billion years.
So 3.5 million isn't that long ago. A sequence of volcanic flows changed the course of the lower Columbia River, filling the channel it was moving through and diverting the river northwards where it runs today. Before the diversion, the river channel was essentially flat. So what we're seeing today is nothing like what it originally was.
Yeah. A lot of erosions happened.
Afterwards, it began to arch as magma welling beneath pushed upward. The uplift, in combination with an accumulation of rocks from volcanic eruptions, helped create the gorge's rugged topography. Kullstrom, Klima, and their colleagues used many different kinds of data to show how the movement of magma, rather than other tectonic forces, explained the uplift. And like I say, I mean, that's what they say, when the continents are pressing together and the tectonic plates are hitting, that's how you end up with the mountains and all that sort of stuff. Well, not here. One of the remarkable things after finding this strain marker associated with the now abandoned river channel, a surface of known initial shape that has since been deformed, is that all other data sets correlated so well, it is unusual to see such a sample of compelling pattern, and it's a reason this became a big result. Measurements of heat flowed out of the Earth, plus maps of the Earth's structure created via seismic waves, both point to magma pooling beneath the crust under the gorge. Other clues, like the locations of geologically recent volcano vents, provide further evidence that the deep magma helped shape the gorge. Team showed how many tributaries flowing into the Columbia from the south side of the gorge have steepened in response to magma-driven deformation. They noted spots where the tributaries suddenly increased their slope in response to the uplift, creating cliffy topography. Those cliffs set the stage for waterfalls that the gorge is famous for. Though other more recent events, such as mega floods from the last ice age, have shaped the waterfalls too. What we looked at is much larger than the individual waterfall. In each of these tributaries, the entire river system is having to become steeper. The waterfalls are there because these tributaries have to be steep to get from their headwaters down to the Columbia. How cool is that?
It'd be very cool.
Right? Study also shows how magma is still shaping the gorge and surrounding landscape today. And that's funny because they say like, Yellowstone.
Their
Old Faithful,
super volcano.
This super volcano right there. Yeah. And that's over that side of the country as well, right? So it's not surprising that there's that much volcanic activity. I mean, you think of volcanoes, you're not really thinking of Western United States.
Yes. Oh, right? I know. Yeah. Well, it's Mount St. Helens, right?
Yeah. But
and that was a big one. That's one of the biggest explosions on the planet in modern times. Yeah,
I guess over there.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're not thinking tons of volcanoes.
No, right? No, exactly.
A pool of molten magma still lies beneath the gorge without any volcanoes on top. As the crust beneath the gorge bends, it's pushed magma off to the sides as opposed to upwards.
Mm-hmm.
The Cascades have been building for so long, volcanoes layered on top of volcanoes as magma continues to work its way up. One implication is that there will be more volcanoes in the future, more layering of material on top of what's already there. It's going to get bigger, deeper.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me. So now this is not volcanoes. So one thing that pops into my head is we talked about the first migration into North America, where due to glaciation and so on, that ocean levels were 400 feet lower than they currently are. So it would be interesting to see that perspective. It's a completely different coastline.
Mm-hmm.
And so any coastal plains are currently under 400 feet of water type thing, right? And on New Year's Day, they had a huge earthquake in Japan.
Yep.
And one of the things, I was looking at some satellite photography of the coastline of Japan along that area, and they were showing before and after images. And I was just thinking, man, to be able to hop into a sea kayak and check out that coast, because everything is popped up. There's an upthrust, and so the coastline is completely different in some places along the area where it was affected. They gained 250 meters of beaches and so on, because everything lifted up, so it gives you the impression that the ocean is pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is the land rose up, and so you have more beaches or more coastline, different coastline. So it could be a place that you would paddle paddle there every 2 weeks, but now it's completely different. Right.
And the people that had beachfront property no longer have beachfront property.
Yeah, now they're doing it. Well, it showed a couple fishing villages with breakwaters and marinas, and they're high and dry.
Yeah. Boy.
It's like, oh no.
It shows you, buddy. It shows you.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and that effect happened in a matter of a half hour or an hour. The whole effect was done, right?
Yeah.
And it's just imagine oh, I used to have a dock. I used to be able to, I'm kayaking here.
Well, I mean, it just shows you the planet is still moving and grooving and everything. I mean, you think, oh yeah, all that happened, millions of years ago. It's still going on.
Yes. And so what? The Pangea we used to be just one big landmass. Pangea split up, and they're seeing, what is it? Is it Russia and Canada have the same shield? I can't remember where it was, but anyways, it's interesting to see that those changes are happening, and they're saying that they've seen recent evidence that Kenya, Africa, it's splitting apart. It's opening up right now it's only about 10, 20 feet deep, but it's Africa, the continent, is splitting.
Well, if you go to Iceland, there's one place you can go. There's a bridge.
Oh, you have the northern plate.
You got
North
one
American
plate on one, and a European plate on the other side.
Yeah.
And if you stand in the middle of the bridge,
you're on two continents.
There's a sign there, and you can be on two tectonic plates, different ones,
exactly,
at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, so we had to go there.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so that's splitting apart. What you talked here about in the Cascades, that's what is it? What did they call it? Not subduction. A subduction zone, they called it? Which means that that plate is sliding, the ocean plate, the Pacific plate is sliding underneath the North American plate. And so it's going in underneath, and and I can't remember what the other one is. I'm not a volcanologist or earthquakeologist or whatever, but
an earthquakeologist.
But it is interesting, and these changes are not normally overnight changes, but one
little movement causes a massive earthquake, which
exactly right
gets you
right
more
now,
beachfront property.
What is it right now? I think it's only Disney that'll be around in 100,000 years to see what the differences are when they wake him back up, right?
Oh, because he's the only one that's freeze-dried right now.
I think he's the only freeze-dried guy.
Cryo sleep.
Well, yeah. There's probably other guys we don't know about, but Disney's the famous guy that we know that's they're going to pop.
Well, if you watch Futurama, they're all just heads
exactly
in a jar.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of a neat little sciencey thing.
Yeah.
I saw a article.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be our third article.
Another one.
About someone using paddlecraft to move drugs.
Yeah.
This time it was just a typo. The headline was talking about drug paddlers. So I looked on there and said, what are they? Who's moving what, where, now, how?
What's going on now?
No, the article talked about drug peddlers.
Oh.
So it was just a typo in the headline.
Darn it. I'm disappointed.
I'm only mentioning this one because I love the variety of Girl Scout cookies in the U.S.
Okay.
So when we go over to Canucopia, they always have a booth where the Girl Scouts are selling cookies. Mm-hmm. And they got like 10 different varieties. We're up here. We
don't get 2. The varieties. Yeah. We get vanilla, chocolate, and mint.
And I can't stand mint. So we get that. And a couple other paddlers I know are, always walk out with a few boxes. One being our buddy Preston Sear.
Oh.
Who I think is doing another 3 months over in Italy or something right now. Nice to be able to work from a hotel room. But we always bring back boxes of Girl Scout cookies. So Grayson Burke, a 2-time champion of cookie sales in Girl Scouts in eastern Missouri, has not only aced her schoolwork, but also crushed the Girl Scout cookie program for 2 consecutive years, 2022 and 2023, earning the coveted title of top cookie seller in the entire region.
Sounds like this ties into the drug peddler thing.
I'm thinking when you start, you just listen.
With her sales technique.
Right? As a young Girl Scout, Grayson embraced the program's focus on leadership and business skills, finding creative ways to reach customers and share her passion for the delicious treats. From setting up eye-catching booths to utilizing online platforms. We didn't do that when we were selling. No, I remember selling apples for Boy Scouts. We were none of that. Grayson's sales strategies blossomed, leaving customers buzzing with excitement and craving more. Grayson sold 500 boxes her kindergarten year. Now you're figuring this is probably like $5 a box, right? Mm-hmm. So 500 times 5.
Yeah.
1,000 boxes each year from 1st to 8th grade. So there's $5,000 a year. 1,500 boxes in the COVID affected sales year of 2021. In 2022, Grayson sold over 3,000 boxes.
Wow.
2023, 3,200 boxes. That's like $16,000.
Yeah.
In cookies. What'd you sell? I sold $100. What'd you sell? I sold $150. What'd you sell? $16,000. What? Wow. I like cookies, but wow. So 2024, she does that, and this is her last year, I guess, being in Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 years champion.
Mm-hmm.
Holy jumping. Well done, Grayson, but that's a lot of cookies. How do you even fathom 3,000 boxes of cookies?
Like, what kind of supply system does
I wonder
she
if
have?
her parents thinking, oh, not cookie time again.
Not again. We have to fill the garage this time.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, we need to rent a storage locker for these cookies.
Need a U-Haul.
Yeah. Unless, of course, Mom and Dad bought them all.
Oh, maybe that's why she's her sales are so high.
So high, yeah. Hey, Dad, I need to buy some cookies. How many? $3,200 worth, or 32,000 boxes? Oh, so I did my winter paddle at Mew.
Yes,
and as we talked, Athena was not happy that she had to stay on shore. And it got me wondering, and I made a couple of comments, but I also saw an article where a couple of dogs had to be rescued from thin ice by local firefighters. One dog actually fell through the ice into the freezing water. Both dogs rescued and are okay. Made me wonder about dry suits for dogs.
Yeah.
Right? And I'd mentioned that. I was going, I don't want to take Athena in the canoe because if we dump in the ice cold water, she's got her fur and stuff like that. But so I scoured Google, and you know what I found for dry suits for dogs? Nothing.
I was trying to think of the logistics of how that would seal. So you'd have to have it integral, like the you couldn't have the leg sticking out because the gussets would the fur would let the water in.
Yeah.
And then around the neck, your dog is a very furry neck, so water would get in there. So unless you're going to shave her ankles and shave her neck, she's going to...
Well, there's a look. What's wrong with your dog? She's a paddler. She likes to go in the winter.
Yeah.
You know what? And that's what I'm thinking is like, like how much water would get in under that fur?
Yeah.
Right? And same with the legs, okay, fine. Put booties.
Yeah.
The tail? I'm sure that would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, you'd have to have
some sort of leave the tail out.
And then she would need to go to the bathroom.
No, well, she's in that. She's not. And so there has to be some way. So I was going and looking. If you Google dog dry suit, you get something that actually looks like it would be a dry suit in the shape of a dog.
Yeah.
But it's made of nylon and it's just a rain jacket.
Oh, okay.
But you can completely cover your dog, except for its head, in this nylon rain jacket. But you can't make one of a dry suit. If you have... So I did some checking out.
Okay.
How how cold is water? And
Yes.
When
minutes?
should you stop? And is it the same for dogs as it is for people? And of course, there's so many different little. It depends on this. It depends on that. And it depends on this. And it depends on that. And if you have to wear a dry suit to survive in cold water, then the water temperature is probably too cold for your dog to be in without a PFD.
Exactly.
A dog PFD won't prevent your furry friend from possible hypothermia, but cold water can tire a dog. So if the PFD will help keep your dog afloat, should they tire from the cold?
Mm-hmm.
Some breeds have higher cold tolerance than others, such as long-haired dogs who are typically better equipped for frosty weather than short-haired breeds. Other hardier breeds, such as retrievers, huskies, and Newfoundlands, have a special double coat that acts as insulation, which Athena has.
Okay.
And helps repel the water and can even help regulate their body temperature. That's why she lays in the snow on her back with her feet in the air having a snooze.
Yeah.
The breed of dog makes a huge difference in their tolerance of the weather, both on land and in the water. Sporting, herding, and working breeds, for example, have a higher tolerance for colder conditions and would happily jump into a body of water even in the middle of winter. And Athena was in our local river at end of November.
Mm-hmm.
One rule of thumb mentioned by the American Kennel Club is to make sure the water temperature plus the air temperature equals at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit before letting a dog in.
Oh, okay.
Dogs who spend long time swimming in cold water could be at risk for hypothermia or too low body temperature. If you're concerned that your pup is getting cold, it's possible to check their temperature with a thermometer. Now, we were at the vet the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm not carrying a thermometer because my dog will not like where I put that thermometer.
I was going to ask.
If it's below 95 degrees, because you can't stick it like in under their tongue because they're not going to.
Yeah. They'll bite it.
If it's below 95 degrees, they could be at risk for hypothermia. Feeling your dog's ears is another way to check their temperature. And this I did not know. If they feel cold, especially around the edges, that's a sign to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
Some signs of hypothermia in dogs include shivering, lethargy, stiff muscles, pale or gray gums, stumbling or lack of coordination, fixed and dilated pupils, low heart and breathing rates, and collapsing. Treatment for hypothermia is urgent as it can quickly become a life-threatening emergency. Immediately move them indoors and begin warming them slowly by rubbing their paws while also calling your vet about the next step. At the end of the day, it's probably best to leave your doggo at home.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to risk the poor dogs. They can't handle the cold. Like maybe some breeds, but
yeah, Hunter, our old dog that was like hound, Catahoula with Weimaraner, like had no hair.
Yeah,
and like such short, like centimeter long hairs. Yeah. Like a wind picks up and she was like, "Woo!" Or he was cold, right? Yeah. Athena though, yeah, she dives into snowbanks and has no problem. She just doesn't like rain in her face. Apparently, we just found out.
Yeah,
depending on the type of dog you have and the hair and stuff. I guess you get farther into fall seasons, making sure they've got a nice life jacket and a warm,
absolutely,
something warmed. And it goes, the same deal. Like if they go in the fall, make sure you got a warm, dry something packed away,
something to wrap them in, dry them off
with a towel. And like she's got this. We had actually go to a horse place for our last dog, Hunter, because they have horse blankets.
Yep.
But they're horse jackets, but they're the size for a dog.
Okay.
Because Hunter was big chested, right? So that would actually fit. Because the regular ones we were getting at the pet store didn't fit. So we were told go to this Green Hawk place. It's horse equipment, and we went there and we got him this jacket. Well, it fits Athena perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's all insulated. It's really warm.
Oh, nice.
So if we were out in shoulder season, I'd have that packed away in the dry bag. So if she did go in,
you'd have
take out a towel, dry her off, throw that on, and it keeps her warm sort of deal. But yeah, unfortunately, if you're going for a New Year's Day paddle,
And your dog doesn't have a dry suit.
And your dog doesn't have a dry suit.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has come across a real dry suit for a dog, let me know. I'd be willing to try that. Yeah. My dog might not be, but at that point, she's not going to have a say in the matter.
Yeah.
So, you mean? Yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
It is interesting. It's. I can see why they don't have it.
I can see, the logistics part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But is there something? Yeah. It all comes down to, like, you can keep most of the water out, but like you say, especially at the neck.
It's going to seep in.
Right? It's going to seep in, and she's got that big ruff of fur around her neck. And it's just going to seep in through there, and then it's just going to be a big balloon of
exactly.
water.
And that's not going to help either.
No, that's not going to help at all. Let's go over to Southwest Missouri.
Ooh. Now, I was curious why this was included. I guess it does affect paddlers. It
does. Water treatment and the health of rivers and stuff. Because this isn't the first sort of thing I've seen. This sort of thing that people are. There's another one I saw that people are dumping waste and people are dumping this, that, and the other thing, and they're letting stuff leach out of their plants into the local rivers, and now they're finding E. coli is becoming a massive thing again.
Yeah, is that something?
Right? So a Southwest Missouri meat packer has withdrawn its request to discharge treated wastewater into an impaired river after state regulators announced their intent to deny the company a permit. Missouri Prime Beef Packers, which processes 3,500 cattle per week near Pleasant Hope, sought permission from the state last year to proprietary microbe technology. They wanted to use that to treat wastewater from its operations and discharge it into the Pomme de Terre River.
I thought that was funny. The Pomme de Terre River.
Right? It had previously applied the wastewater to surrounding land as fertilizer. So I don't know why they wouldn't just keep doing that.
What do you mean? Oh, throw it on land?
As fertilizer instead of throwing it directly into a river.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to overflood depending on how much wastewater they have and how...
But they're treating it with this proprietary microbe technology. So if anything, if they're saying it's safe, so pass it off to other farmers and let them use it as fertilizer, right? The company informed the Missouri Department of Natural Resources last week that it was withdrawing its application for a permit to discharge water from its operations into the Pomme de Terre River. Representatives for the company did not immediately return a request for comment.
Of course not.
There's a lot of that going around. Pomme de Terre River winds through the Ozark region of southwest Missouri and provides clear spring-fed water for canoeing, swimming, and fishing. But it's impaired... Because that's what I was wondering, it's an impaired river. It's impaired by E. coli contamination.
There you go.
Landing it on a federal list of impaired waterways. Like I say, there's a lot of this going on. 2019, the river was found to have an average of more than 200 E. coli colonies per 100 milliliters of water, well above the limit of 126. E. coli data from 2020 are incomplete because of the COVID-19 pandemic's effect on sample collection. Newer data is not yet available. Pomme de Terre Lake, which is fed by the river, so not only is the river, you're going to contaminate the river with this stuff, now it's always going to go into the lake.
Everything downstream,
Also considered impaired because of high levels of chlorophyll A, indicating the water is receiving too much phosphorus and nitrogen, which I believe is usually a result of fertilizers.
Yes.
Which can lead to harmful algae blooms that reduce oxygen in the water and kill fish. Some blooms can lead to toxins and bacteria that can make people sick. Runoff from farms is a major source of nitrogen and phosphorus, which are found in animal waste. Untreated, the water from the meatpacking facilities processing could also contain those chemicals. But because of the river's existing struggles with contamination, environmental advocates feared allowing Missouri Prime Beef Packers to release wastewater into a river would make things worse. While the company would treat the water before releasing it, critics raised concern about the effectiveness of the company's microbe technology called iLeaf. It's like an iPad, but it's an iLeaf, L-E-A-F. The Missouri Department of Natural Resources had previously reviewed the Missouri prime beef packers' request, determined it wouldn't harm the river. But after hearing concerns from members of the public, the agency announced a draft denial, saying the company didn't meet all the regulatory requirements to use an innovative technology. John Hoke, director of the agency's water protection program, said at the time that the department hadn't seen the technology used at the scale the meatpacking facility proposed to use it. So maybe this technology clean a swimming pool, but I got to think they're using a lot more water than
but at least they're trying, right?
Yeah.
As new technologies come along, maybe eventually they'll have something that's going to be effective at cleaning up wastewater and so on.
Heather Peters, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources Water Pollution Control Branch Chief, says that until the meatpacking facility has a permit for land application, it either has to store its wastewater, haul it to a treatment facility, or take it out of state, which means they can't even use it as fertilizer for local lands now.
But what do you mean take it? So maybe another state allows them to dump it in a river?
Maybe.
Or it's a non-impaired river? When you start, like I said, it's nice that they're doing something to treat it, but when you start doing stuff going over and above, like you got to wonder, like, at what point are we going to introduce something so disastrous into the environment that it can't be stopped, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? Honestly, not really much difference between that and Toronto sending its garbage to Michigan.
True. Yeah. They did stop, but yes.
But they were doing it for ages. Mm-hmm. So, stuff like this. Like you say, you end up with this nice waterway that you can go paddling on. And all of a sudden you got E. coli. You know, you don't want to be paddling on something you think may end up making you sick.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and taking your family out there to go swimming or anything like that. No, I'm not going near that river.
I remember in college we some friends would water ski and stuff on the St. Lawrence River, and they said one time so Dom Tires was a factory in town, and they wiped out and fell into the water, and they said their skin tingled. They got out of the water, got back onto the boat, and they had a full body rash. And so whatever chemicals were coming out of Dom Tire, it's like, whoa, okay, well, we got to watch where we water ski, right? So that's the same thing with canoeing and kayaking, whatever. It's like, if you're in an industrial area, what river is it that catches on fire?
Oh, that was the Detroit River, Chicago River. Or something.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been able to. Is this true or not? But there, Rice Lake.
Yep.
Northeast of
Coburg,
Toronto.
Yeah.
It's just choked with weeds, but awesome bass and pickerel and everything fishing, right? But I always heard that there was a fertilizer plant on one of the shores.
Okay.
That wastewater would go in, and that's why it's so thick with weeds.
Yeah.
That's something I was always told that since I was a little kid. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but it's that sort of thing. And as fertilizer, that would make sense because that's why it's absolutely. The weeds are so thick there, you need a motor guard on it.
Yeah.
When you're in your boat sort of thing. But the fishing is awesome.
Yes.
So, you know what? You got people looking out for the rivers down there and all over the place. So there's just another one of those stories of you got an absolutely great paddling river that can't be used.
Yeah. And this river, like they say they see, 200 counts of E. coli, and that's an incredible amount. It's like, is that something you roll over in your kayak and you get like pink eye in both eyes type thing?
Yeah, you're barfing and stomach illnesses.
Yeah.
And isn't that the stuff? Don't lick your hands after cutting chicken or clean your cooking services.
Absolutely.
Right. So I've come to a bit of a conclusion.
Uh-oh. I
am beginning to think, just because I see stories, and I saw a recent one, I'm beginning to think crocodiles are just Australia's version of our bear.
Yeah.
Recently, one showed up in someone's backyard in a town in northern Queensland. Senior wildlife officer Jane Burns said crocodiles can be highly mobile, especially during summer and following wet weather. While it isn't unusual to see crocodiles around Mackay, it is unusual to find one in someone's backyard. And we've had that here.
Oh, a caiman.
No, bears.
No, but there was somebody dropped a caiman. It's like an alligator.
Oh, that was in
a pond in Toronto.
Was that Grenadier Pond?
It's something like that, yeah.
Something like right downtown Toronto.
And
sort of,
people are like, is that an alligator there?
Yeah. But I mean, it's just like just north here and that, like across from Tracy's mom's house.
Yeah, we get bears.
There's a black bear come around there.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking crocodiles are just Australia's version of our bear. So we have these things. Be bear-wise.
Bear-wise, bear-safe, exactly.
Croc-wise tips for people in Mackay. And you can just substitute the word bear for the word crocodile. Expect crocodiles in all northern and far northern Queensland waterways, even if there is no warning sign. Obey all warning signs. They are there to keep you safe. Be aware, crocs/bears also swim. Well, no, maybe not this one. Also swim in the ocean. Be extra cautious around water at night. Stay well away from croc traps, bear traps.
Yeah.
That includes fishing and boating. The smaller the vessel, the greater the risk. So avoid using canoes and kayaks. Stand back from the water's edge when fishing and don't wade in to retrieve a lure. Camp at least 50 meters from the edge of the water.
Oh, yeah.
Never leave food, fish scraps, or bait near water, campsites, or boat ramps. That sounds like bear.
Mm-hmm.
Never provoke, harass, or feed the crocs or bears.
Yeah.
Never poke a sleeping bear or croc. Always supervise children near the water and keep pets on a lead. There's a lot of those things pertain to bears as well, and I've seen those rules. Further information on being croc-wise, see Be Croc-wise in Croc Country page on the Queensland Government website. So tell me I'm wrong.
You're not. It's the same, yeah.
The crocodile is just Australia's version of our bear.
We have bears, they have swamp puppies.
We have big, fat, hairy bears, and they got scaly lizards. Scaly water lizards. Is crocodile no, it's a reptile.
It's a reptile.
Yeah. Well, is a lizard a reptile?
It's a dinosaur. Is what?
Isn't a lizard a reptile? It's not an amphibian. It's a reptile.
I don't know. Now I'm confused.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to have to Google this.
How long ago did you go to school?
40 years ago.
Yeah, it's a reptile. A reptile is a... Yeah.
Just different species.
Yeah. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. And you're welcome to it.
You see videos all the time of... and I don't know how people are comfortable canoeing or kayaking through the Florida Everglades, because you're so low to the water, you're right there, and it's just like... I've seen videos of people on fishing boats where a crocodile tries to hop up on the back of the boat trying to get at somebody's fish, right? It's like, I don't...
But it's the same thing as a bear. So that's why the more I'm looking at this, they got to feel the same way about the crocodiles as we feel about bears.
Absolutely, yes. I
mean, we're still going on canoe trips. We're in bear country.
Yeah, true.
I came across one on a portage this year.
Yeah.
It looked at me, climbed a tree, and climbed back down, got second, and off he went. But you got to think at some point, it's just a crocodile, whatever. Hit it with a paddle and be done with it. Stand up and scream at it.
Whack it with your frying pan at breakfast, whatever. Right? Get away, crocodile.
They got to think that that's their mentality. Crocodiles, same as we have with bears at times, you know. Anyway, that's my opinion. Last thing I got here, the shows.
Oh yes, the shows.
So I was asked if I was going to speak at the Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show.
Yeah,
and I said, well, honestly, I'd been so busy the last little while, I didn't think I was going to, but apparently I am.
You're going to do it, eh?
I'm going to do it. February 23rd to 25th at Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show, the Toronto International Center. It should be the Adventures and Paddling stage.
Okay.
I'm not sure which day. Probably Saturday or Sunday, I would think. OutdoorAdventureShow.ca for more info. The other place where you and I are going.
Yes, we are.
And I think we're dragging Kevin Callan down there. Yep. I know Cliff Jacobson usually shows up. Hap Wilson shows up. Yep. Camper Christina's going to be there. Mm-hmm. The Quiet Adventure Symposium, East Lansing, Michigan. All the bunnies are going to be there. The MSU Pavilion, quietadventures.org for more info on that. It's Saturday, March 2nd.
And we'll be there.
And I was thinking, because in the past, people have brought us beers from some of the breweries in the area.
Yep.
If people have ideas of some of the breweries down that way.
That we could go visit?
Not that we could go visit, but that we can get a couple of their beers.
Yep.
Remember how we did the coffee tasting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let us know or bring us a couple of your favorite
local
cans
brews.
of local brews that you can't, don't come over the border here.
Yeah.
And we'll do something like that. We'll do a little beer tasting show.
That'd be interesting.
Right? Because we did the coffee one down at the day we left. Everybody piled into the room and we did the little coffee tasting.
Everyone was hopped up on
coffee.
But
if we got a couple of cans of a few different flavors and we had 4 or 5 of us sitting around tasting them and we can give our opinions on them. And drink beer.
Interesting. Yes.
We would not be able to do that one the day before we left. or no. Like 2 hours before we left.
No.
Have you been drinking? Yes. Yes, we have. that would probably not bode well at the border.
Yeah, it wouldn't go.
No. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Tuesday, March 12th, we are hosting the Paddling Film Fest at Drums and Flats here in Ajax, Ontario. Doors are open at 6:30. Films start at 7-ish. We're done 11-ish. Yep. It is a Tuesday night.
Yep.
Tickets will be on sale on Eventbrite starting this Friday. So if you're listening to this Thursday, it's tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We are going to put a link on our Facebook page, paddlingadventuresradio.com. So you'll be able to see, click a link, go right to our events, our Eventbrite page. And like I say, tickets $15. Tuesday, March 12th, the Tuesday before St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
We held it a month later last year, and it seemed people prefer. We held it April 12th.
Oh, did we?
Something, yeah, but people preferred it in March.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, March 12th, Paddling Film Fest, Drums and Flats in Ajax. I already talked to Shane over there at Drums and Flats, and we got the big room with the big 14-foot TVs and all that sort of deal, and we're all registered for the film fest, and tickets are going, and Peter Patter. That'll be fun.
Yes, it'll be a good evening.
Yeah, always. This is, because we can't count the 2 years we didn't do it during COVID.
Is it? Did we miss 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
I thought we only missed one.
No, we missed 2, because they canceled the one, and then they did a virtual.
We did one like a week before lockdown.
Yep. And then the next year they didn't. The next year they only had virtual, and then yeah. So this should have been our 7th.
Yeah,
but it's only our 5th.
Nice.
I can't believe I'm still counting as 7. Up your nose with a rubber hose.
I thought we only missed one. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Don't wait to get tickets because they sell out.
They do. We've been like the first year wasn't that big. Second year,
yeah, we had that in a different bar.
That was a different spot. Yeah,
tiny little bar. We didn't expect there would be that many people wanting to come to it, and they do only let certain within an area.
Yep.
Only one group in an area. So the Complete Paddler hosts the Premier downtown Toronto.
Correct.
We are the only one out Durham
We're going to be
area.
Durham East. We're the only ones that allow Durham East. I think the next
They used to do one out in Port Hope, but they don't seem to do that one anymore.
Yeah, they stopped.
They used to do one at the Canadian Canoe Museum, but I don't know if somebody else is doing that these days. But those are the only other two closest ones, I believe. Mm-hmm. So if you don't get downtown to the big one, we're it.
Yeah, come join us for an evening of fun.
There'll be door prizes.
Yep.
And yeah, we still got to get Kevin Callan down here. He always says, well, we'll see what's going on. But then he always ends
He's always busy with something.
He's always busy.
He's a busy man.
Well, this is his big speaking time too, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's hit so many different shows and speaking engagements and stuff. So,
and unfortunately, he's got a long way to go. Like if we're done at like 11 or 12.
To stay right to the end. Mm-hmm. Just put in a... Maybe we'll raffle him off. Yeah, if you want to... Congratulations, you won Kevin Callan. Here's his address. Just go knock on his door and take him home. Christine might not be happy. Yeah. Well, maybe she will be happy that finally he's out of my hair.
I've got a spare room. He could stay over at my house.
See? Derek Spesh kidnapped Kevin Callan. Oh, Derek Spesh bed and breakfast, and you have to serve him coffee and eggs and everything in bed the next morning.
I'd be working at 6 a.m. the next morning. He'd be on his own.
Well, no, you could just feed him at 6 a.m. 5 in the morning. Wake up, here's your breakfast.
He could hang out with Siobhan and the kids in the morning.
See? You can help them.
Because they don't leave till like 8:15.
Right? But so get your tickets. I really hate having to turn people away, but the place can only hold so many people.
Yes, yeah, it's fire code.
Yeah, it's fire code, safety third, but no, they don't believe in that. Yeah. So, anywho, you got anything else?
I do not. I'll just say that I'm excited about my canoe. Can't paddle it till spring, but hey. Well, then again, it's a warm winter. Maybe I would be able to paddle it.
Well, like I say, I may pick it up for you on Family Day weekend and on my way through.
Yeah.
Be that guy with a canoe on his truck in the middle of winter again.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's open water there. Mm-hmm. Derek won't mind.
Yeah.
No, that hole was still there.
It's got a new scratch.
Yeah. All right. All righty. Well, if you want to find out more about us, you can find us at paddlingadventuresradio.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can, and I'll be calling it Twitter to the day I'm dead.
I know, I'm not going to call it X.
Skydome. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the app previously known as Twitter. You can download or stream our episodes at iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and all your favorite podcast downloading sites. And there's tons of them.
There are tons, yeah.
Just Google our name and you'll find places we didn't even know we existed. Mm-hmm. Or you can just go to the episode page at paddlingadventuresradio.com.
That's easiest for me. That's what I usually do.
You just click episode and the new one's there. You can stream it, you can download it, you can do whatever.
One-stop shopping.
Yeah. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with friends, family, and fellow paddlers. I want to thank everybody for listening this week. I'm Sean Rowley.
And I'm Derek Specht. We'll see you next time.